Democrat James Walkinshaw beat out Republican Stuart Whitson in a special election to represent Virginia's 11th congressional district. Walkinshaw previously served as the chief of staff to Congressman Gerry Connolly, who held the seat before he died earlier this year of cancer. Once he's sworn in, Walkinshaw's victory means Democrats will control 213 House seats versus 219 for Republicans. And joining us now is Virginia Democratic Congressman-elect James Walkinshaw. Congressman-elect, thanks so much for taking the time with us. You have requested to be sworn in immediately. Is that going to happen today? And why is it so important to you to really get there, get sworn in, hit the ground running?
I believe and hope it will happen today, and thank you for having me. You know, my constituents in the 11th District of Virginia are unrepresented today, and they'll be unrepresented in the United States House of Representatives until I'm sworn in. Speaker Johnson has sworn in two Republicans who were elected in special elections in this Congress. He did so the next day, and every indication I have is he'll do the same for me later today.
As we can see here in that graphic, you won decisively, and you come into this seat that was left vacant, as we mentioned, by Congressman Gerry Connolly, who passed away earlier this year from cancer. You spent a decade working as a top aide for him. What did that experience mean to you and the takeaways you got as you head into taking over his seat?
Gerry Connolly is a singular figure in Virginia, in this Capitol, for the contributions and many, many accomplishments that he has. For me personally, you know, I learned a lot of valuable lessons from him. He always fought for our community's values. He was a voice for the voiceless. He gave his entire mind, body, and spirit to serving our community in the 11th District, and I hope to do the same.
What are your legislative priorities?
The number one priority for me is going to be defending federal employees. We have 80,000 federal workers in Fairfax, the community that I represent, and they've been under attack by the Trump administration. Thousands have lost their job. Thousands have been fired needlessly and recklessly. Their noble service to the nation has been denigrated and attacked, and I want to be their voice and stand up for them against continued attacks.
How are you going to fight for them?
Well, I'm going to introduce legislation today, if I'm sworn in, that will require the president to come to Congress for an up or down vote before he can dismantle, downsize, or significantly restructure any federal agency, as the Trump administration has done to the Department of Education, USAID, and others. Congress has the power of the purse. Congress should decide if there's going to be a significant downsizing of a federal agency that causes hardworking folks to lose their jobs.
We've heard a lot about the importance of the numbers when it comes to this discharge petition to force a House vote to release the Epstein files. Do you plan to sign that petition?
I will sign the discharge petition today. I will be the 217th signature as it currently stands. My hope is I'll be the 218th signature because one of my Republican colleagues finds their conscience today, listens to what we've heard from the survivors about the need to end this cover-up of whatever is in the Epstein files. But either way, I will sign the discharge petition today.
You talked about Congress and the power of the purse. We are just 3 weeks away now from another government funding deadline. We've seen the Trump administration claw back funding that Congress had already pre-approved. So that's the backdrop of this new funding fight. Are you willing to shut down the government if Republicans aren't willing to compromise with Democrats or provide guarantees?
I don't want to see a shutdown. I know House Democrats don't want to see a shutdown. Republicans control the White House, the House, and the Senate. So it will be up to them whether we have a shutdown or not. If they need Democratic votes either in the House or the Senate, they're going to have to take a truly bipartisan approach. I can tell you I will be advocating to avoid the skyrocketing Affordable Care Act premiums that were part of the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, the cuts to Medicaid. I will be advocating to end the attacks on our federal workers. I will be advocating for the administration to actually spend the funds that Congress appropriates. I don't know what it means to pass appropriations bills if the executive branch illegally, in my view, just decides that they're not going to spend those funds and implement those programs. But we'll have to have a real bipartisan conversation and negotiation if they're going to need Democratic support to keep the government open.
But again, they have the numbers in many ways to just do this unilaterally. You were just elected by Democratic voters to fight for them. You already spoke about fighting for those federal workers in your district, but more broadly, what does that fighting for your district look like here as it comes to this shutdown fight?
I think it looks like advocating for the priorities that I just laid out to avoid devastating cuts to Medicaid and increases in Affordable Care Act premiums, to get real commitments, binding commitments that the executive branch will end their de facto shutdowns. Donald Trump has already shut down a lot of elements of the government by fiat, essentially. All that would have to come to an end to get, I think, my support and support of other Democrats on any spending bill. But again, they have the votes. It's up to them, certainly in the House, to keep the government open. But if they need Democratic support, they got to really come and have a real negotiation and a conversation with us.
Congressman-elect James Walkinshaw, thank you.